Hello students, today we are going to start chapter number 10, that is wave optics. In this chapter we will be dealing with various optical phenomena I should say, and all these phenomena will be explained on the basis of wave theory or wave nature of light. So basically those phenomena we will be studying in this chapter are all explained by the wave nature of light. And to understand that, there are two terms which we have to know. The first thing is the wavefront. So the very first thing that we should know is wavefront. And next is the ray of light. How we can explain the ray of light by using the wavefront. These two things we should know to explain those optical phenomena. So we are starting with wavefront first. So to understand wavefront, consider a stone and assume that you drop or throw that stone on the surface of a still water. Suppose this is a stone and you drop that or throw that stone on the surface of a still water, then there appear circular patterns of alternate crest and troughs that you can observe. Okay, so you can observe circular patterns, circular waves like this around that stone that you have dropped, and these patterns are such that there exists alternate crest and trough, and that are spreading out from the point of impact. Now point of impact is the point at which the stone is thrown, so those crest and trough are being spread out from the point of impact. So clearly the particles that are lying on the crest are at the position of maxima, and the particle that are at the position of trough, they are at the minima. Okay, now the maximum position particle or the particle at crest are in upward displacement, while the particle lying on a trough are in downward displacement. So all the particles at crest position are in same phase, while those are in trough position are in सेम फेज रिस्पेक्टिवली. सो क्रेस्ट वाले सारे पार्टिकल सेम फेज में हैं, वाइल ट्रफ वाले जितने पार्टिकल्स हैं दे ऑल आर इन सेम फेज. नाउ इफ यू टेक locus of all such point, now locus means if we take such position and create a curve joining them. So if we take the position of all crest and join them by a curve, or we take the position of all trough and we create a curve to join them, then that is called the locus of all such points that are oscillating in the same phase, either upward or downward, but they should be in same phase. Then this locus is called a wavefront. So similarly we can define a wavefront as the continuous locus. It should be a continuous curve, there should not be a break in that. Continuous locus of all particles of the medium which are vibrating in same phase at एनी इंस्टेंट. तो सेम टाइम पर सेम फेज में जो पार्टिकल होंगे उनके पोजीशन से पास होने वाला या उनको ज्वाइन करता हुआ अगर हम लोकस प्लॉट करें, कर्व प्लॉट करें, देन दैट इज कॉल्ड अ wavefront. So a wavefront can be defined as, so wavefront is the continuous locus of all such particles of the medium which are vibrating in the same phase at any instant. So they should be at same phase at the same time instant. Then if we create a continuous locus of all such particles, then we get the required wavefront. Now there can be different types of wavefront. Now there are types of wavefront which we classified into three main categories, and these type actually depends on the shape of source of that light. So the geometrical shape of wavefront depends on the source of disturbance or the source of light. On the basis of that, we distribute these wavefront into three categories. First is the spherical wavefront, second is cylindrical wavefront, and the third one is plane wavefront. Okay, so these wavefronts are of three types: spherical wavefront, cylindrical wavefront and plane wavefront. Now spherical wavefront will be achieved if the source, from which the disturbance is coming is a point source. If we have a point source, in that case the wavefront that we will get will be a spherical wavefront. If the source of disturbance is linear, in that case the wavefront we get will be cylindrical, while if the source is such that it is placed at a very far point from the observer, so if the object or the source is at a large distance and the wavefront can be either spherical or cylindrical, is coming from that far point to the observer, so by traveling this much distance, if it is coming from a large distance, the curvature decreases progressively. So plane wavefront is not a new thing. It basically means it is a spherical or cylindrical wavefront which is advancing towards the observer from a large distance. So the distance from which that wavefront is coming, or the distance of the source, is very large from the observer, and because of this much advancement or this much progression of the wavefront, at every due to this long progression, the curvature decreases gradually and the wavefront we get will appear as a plane wavefront. So plane wavefront means it is a either spherical or linear wavefront coming from a far placed object. Since it is traveling a large distance, so its curvature decreases progressively. Okay, since it travel a large distance, and its curvature decreases, its curvature decreases progressively, so it appear as a plane wavefront. This is called a plane wavefront. So if we have spherical wavefront, it will appear like this. It should be there should be a point source and we should get this kind of a structure. Then this is called spherical wavefront. All right, if we have a linear source, suppose this is our source, if we have a linear source, in that case the wavefront we get will be cylindrical like this. And if we have a source which is far from the observer, that means the rays coming to it are parallel, the rays coming to the observer are parallel, in that case the wavefront we get will be a plane wavefront like this. So these wavefronts will be moving progressively, and the speed with which this wavefront is moving outwards from the source is called phase speed. Okay, so speed with which wavefront is moving outward from the source, right? So that speed is called phase speed. Now if we want to connect ray to this explanation, so ray of light is the, if we draw a perpendicular to a wavefront in the direction of propagation, right? If we draw a perpendicular to a wavefront in the direction of propagation, that direction is represented by an arrow over it, then that is called a ray. So suppose we have a spherical wavefront, this is a source and rays, and the wavefront is going outwards, right? So we can draw normal along the radius. So these are all the normal along the radius. Now if we want to represent the direction of propagation, for that we have to put arrows at the ends. So now these arrows represents these line and arrow represent the ray of light. So these are spherical wavefront and this is a ray which is normal to these wavefront, and the arrow represent the direction of propagation. Similarly, in this case, we can show the ray of light like this. Okay, and in case of a plane wavefront, it will be normal and outwards and show the direction of propagation. So these lines and arrow represent the ray of light. Line represent the normal direction and arrow represent the direction of propagation, that should be outwards from the source. So this is how we can connect the ray of light. So a ray of light represent the path along which light travel. Rays are perpendicular to wavefront, and the time taken for the light to travel from one wavefront to another wavefront is same along any ray. If we take any of the following ray, if it moves from this wavefront to the next wavefront of this wave, then the time taken by the ray to travel or the light to travel from one wavefront to another wavefront is same along any ray. This is about the wavefront and the ray of light. All right, so next in this chapter we will be studying about the Huygens principle or his theory, how he explained the wave nature or the principle of secondary wavelets. So for that, stay tuned and keep studying. Thank you.